Well, hey everybody, it's Joel Toppin here, and I've gone ahead and made some pretty substantial updates to the Conquest and Tragedy Vassal module, which is a combined approach to both Triumph and Tragedy and Conquest and Consequences, both games by GMT Games. Craig Basink, the designer, wanted me to make a unified Vassal module that basically has the same approach on both sides, the Eastern or the European theater and the Pacific theater. So that's what we've done. It's been out for a while, but it was brought to my attention recently that there was a few bugs with the module and some substantial bugs, important ones to fix that I don't know why no one emailed me about it. But anyways, it somehow was not brought to my attention until just recently when I happened to notice in my Geek Mail, which I never check. I noticed in my Geek Mail some notifications, like a bunch of them about this. So we fixed a few problems. Let me show you what we've done. First of all, we have fixed the Germany blocks so that when you flip them over in multiplayer mode, they will show the correct grayish black side of the counter or the block. It was incorrectly showing the French image on the reverse in multiplayer mode. Now I'm currently signed in as Solitaire, so I have master access to the module, but I thought I should point out that that bug has been fixed. That's one of those bugs that's actually, you actually have to play the game in multiplayer role to notice that that problem exists. And Craig and I were primarily testing the module in solo mode, which you can see the effects of. So that's, I think, why that escaped our notice for so long. Now, Ufa and Western Siberia used to have a cadre. We've gotten rid of those per the latest edition of the rules for Triumph and Tragedy. So that's been taken care of. Another big change, this one I resisted because I actually prefer it the other way, but a pretty persistent guy says, no, you got to fix this. So I went ahead and did it. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. So when you right click on a unit, you'll find this full strength fleet in London cannot be increased beyond its printed maximum strength. Now, you can't do that in a physical game either, but I like to, mess with my opponent. So maybe I pretend like I've flipped a block. Well, the Vassal equivalent of that is you don't restrict the reporting on a block, but some rules lawyers really don't like that. So we went ahead and just got rid of it. Again, squeaky wheel principle. So if you do a control minus on it, you'll get it down to 1 strength, and you'll see I can press this button as much as I want. It will not allow me to decrease below cadre nor increase beyond its maximum printed CV rating. So that is now fixed. We've consolidated the toolbar so that ETO toolbars for the force pools, you click on a button and it gives you now a pop-up. This just saves a little space on the toolbar. Again, this is mostly cosmetics. This is not a big deal, but I personally prefer to have all the buttons there, but here you go, guys. If you hate it, we can always, put it back, but some users really wanted to have it this way. So there you go. The PTO's got your all your blocks and stuff there. This, because I just made the modification, the PTO hand is way down here at the end of the line. When I reload this, it will appear to the right of the PTO force pool. So let's not worry about that, but that's basically how this will work. Now let's go ahead and sign out. Let's sign in as the axis, just because it's easy. It's right there. All right, now when I click on the force pool window pop up, you'll see that only the axis is accessible to me. So same thing with the hand window. If I click on that, it only gives me access to the others are grayed out, in other words. So that's how that will work. Another big change is to the piece dividends. Now I have had, this seems to be the thing that people struggle with the most. And guys, it's really not that hard. You draw the piece dividends out, you keep them private, you tell your opponents how many you got, but people wanted to know how many does my opponent have without actually asking them. So, okay, I get it. In a physical game, you would be able to see the number of peace dividend tokens. So here is what I've done for the people that really want to have this nailed down. In the in the peace dividends window, there's now a new window for this. It's totally been redesigned. There's a PTO and ETO side. Now, when I take my peace dividend, I'm drawing it. I'm the Axis player. I own this token. Now, what I can do is peek on it. And guys, this is how easy it is. I'm just going to show you how easy this is that could have avoided me hours of work. Look, You just put them down here, all right? And then you can just peek at it, and there it is. That's not hard to do, but some users really struggle with that concept. So here's how we do it. Now, whoops, I lost them. Now what we do is we keep, of course it's going to do this to me now. Sometimes Vassal likes to have the windows overlap in a certain way. There we go. Now what we do is we don't even drag them out here. Now you just drag them into here. So let's say I've amassed to myself as the axis 5 peace dividend tokens. You'll notice that the little flag down here, there's a little symbol here that says 5. That's how many tokens are in here. Great, that's wonderful. What are their values? Well, to discover their values, you click on the Peace Div Values button up here on the toolbar. Only one will be accessible to me because I'm signed in as the axis. So I click on that and it will tell me the value of everything in this stack. Now, if I take stuff out of that stack, it's going to adjust the value when I click on refresh. Now, clearly I drew a 0 here. Yep. So let me draw one that's not a 0. All right, there we go. When I hit refresh, there's 3, a value of 3. So these 3 tokens all have a value of 1, in other words. So that's how it works. Why didn't I put this particular feature in this window? Because Vassal software will not let me. That's ideally where it should go. Can I put this information anywhere else? No. The inventory tool is the only way I know of to make this work. So you can either do it the way we had it before, which is totally doable. Just line your tokens up. You can peek at them. Your opponent can't, and see what they are. And just play it that way, or you can use this window and the Peace Div Values tool in order to get this, I guess, more scientific. You see at a glance how many tokens are held by each of the players, and then the owners can check the values simply by clicking on this tool here. You wouldn't even have to open that window up. If you're the owner and you just want to know how many you got, you just click this thing, hit refresh to make sure you got the latest count, and there you go. So that is the latest changes to the module. And again, this works also over on the Pacific side. As you can clearly see in the Peace Div window, anything you draw down in here, the stacks are kept separate because they have a slightly different arrangement. The values are slightly different they don't have the same distribution, I guess is the right way to say it. So that is the deal with that. So just for grins, let's throw, whoops, I'm glad I did that. Let me show you. You cannot accidentally throw something in the wrong pile. It will not let you, if you're not the owner of that side, you cannot put anything in there. So if I retire and become the West, now I can stick stuff in here. And you'll see there's the counter goes up, shows you how many tokens I got in there. So let's throw 5 in for the West. And then we can click on the Peace Div Values. Now you see Axis is grayed out to me now. West is available. Oh, drew a whole bunch of zeros in there. So you only got a value of 2, even though they've drawn 5 tokens. There you go. So that is the latest change. This is 2.0 to the Conquest and Tragedy Vassal module. I do hope you enjoy the Vassal module. Again, if you have any problems with it, email is probably the best way to get a hold of me. Geek mail. I'm just not on board. I just don't have time for Board Game Geek anymore, and so I'm just not on there enough to check my mail. So again, apologies for the bug involving Germany, but we do have that fixed now, and everything should be up to date. Hope you enjoy the module. Take care.